risk is really high. I would recommend to go back and try to fix this problem.
I don't want to gamble with a pilot in the ocean.
If we go back to Japan, I think it's the end of the project.
I think it's very dangerous. You know, we never have the story of those who got killed.
We have to do it to demonstrate it works. So someone has to do it first. Someone has to try.
To have an airplane that could fly forever without fuel.
No noise, no pollution.
That was the dream from the beginning.
We can move back a little bit. It's a little bit, just a little bit. Look.
The airplane was considered to be impossible to be built and flown. The challenge is how? I mean, to make something like this, huh? You know, that's an airplane we designed, we dreamt about. It's a bit part of me. We are not sure that this is the right answer to the challenge of flying around the world. This, I can tell you maybe in 5 months afterwards, if we were right or if we were wrong.
Airplane powered by solar energy. Even in my comic books, you know, with Superman, Spider-Man, that wasn't in.
Everybody was saying it's completely crazy to do something like that. Flying an airplane prototype like this 5 days over the ocean.
We're in the early hours of the morning here. The Solar Impulse 2 is ready to embark on its ambitious round-the-world journey.
Bertrand Piccard and André Boschberg will be taking turns to fly the solar-powered plane around the world for the very first time. Its wingspan is the equivalent of a 747 jet. It weighs about the same as a family car. We're told it has the horsepower of a scooter, and it flies wholly on the power of the sun.
Okay, Andre, everything is ready. We still wait for the final go from the SRB.
In 1969, I was 11, and I saw Apollo 11 taking off to the moon. And I said, I want to have that type of life. 16 years I've been dreaming of that. Start a flight around the world with no fuel. There are doubts all the time. When you're doing something that nobody has done before, the doubts are important. If you are on a straight line with your beliefs, you never succeed in something new.
From Solar Ground, confirm you get the clearance.
Okay, solar generator looks good. Continue with engines then. A good flight, Andre. Let's start the adventure.
Okay, finally, it's the magic moment. Main wheel lift off.
Beau vol, André, mon ami, mon frère solaire. Bon vol.
Merci Bertrand, je penserai à toi chaque minute ici et je penserai à toute l'équipe. Hein.
Incroyable, incroyable. Un matin aussi long que les 12 dernières années.
Really phenomenal sight, but crazy to believe that this is just the sun powering that plane here.
Their dream is to show a way forward without fossil fuels and spread a message about the need to fight climate change.
The pilots will be broadcasting live from the cockpit, speaking to schools, politicians and the media.
Now it's got a huge journey ahead of it.
We will make about 11 stops. There's only one seat, so we take turns. 5 days, 5 nights over the oceans, alone in this cockpit.
5 months now. The plane starting this way. If everything goes well, comes back this way in July. It is so much more difficult to use these clean technologies in the air than to use them on the ground. So if it works in the air, I really hope people will understand that they can replace all these old, polluting, old stuff by new clean technologies. What we do in the air, we can do on the ground, and this is our message.
Thank you very much. Currently, altitude 5,300 feet.
Technologies are for the benefit of humanity. I mean, the way we use them, we destroy a planet. It's completely stupid. When you fly with the sun as the only source of energy, that's a completely different world, a different feeling.
Hello, Andre. Below you, you have a small thermal inversion, and below this thermal inversion, you have all this dust and the haze.
This aircraft is so light, so fragile. Try to find the places where it can fly is not so easy. When you have a downdraft or updraft, this aircraft can break in two. Rain, humidity, and turbulence, forget it. Only sun and quiet weather and tailwinds.
We are excited, but there's a lot of fear as well. I think the overall round-the-world flight you can compare to an Apollo mission. If you do something wrong, just one thing, they could die, and you carry that for the rest of your life.
Microphone and headphone. On the cuffs, it starts to vibrate on your arm, and this is to alert the pilot if the bank is too high.
Bertrand realized how much exploration was connected to his own world as a psychiatrist. He saw problems in this society and he wanted just to give solutions.
Michel, tout le monde au revoir. Michel.
When I was a child, I was afraid to climb in the tree. Fear is there. Either you have no fear at all, which means you're completely crazy, or you have some fear, which means that you are not a daredevil. It might not go well, but the only way to know is to try.
Solar impulse, solar control.
There's a traffic jam on the road in front of me.
These cars, they don't go anywhere and they pollute the air.
Yeah, they should at least have hybrid motor.
What interests me the most is not to break a record, but to do a first. Really, my father and my grandfather were the first to the bottom of the ocean, showing there was life in the deepest trenches. The first in the stratosphere to see with his own eyes the curvature of the Earth. When you do the first, you establish the first benchmark. And from there, a lot of new things can come out. I flew 20 days non-stop with a balloon. Every day I was afraid to fall short of fuel. and it was almost a failure. We just succeeded because we had 2 hours of margin with a propane after 20 days. And that's when I made the promise that I would fly around the world with no fuel.
Requesting vision, I fly 157. I fly 157, I fly 157, to flight 01.
I have oscillations like hell. It's crazy. I never saw Solar Impulse 2 so unstable.
You said the aircraft is unstable, and I don't see any turbulence at all.
It's unstable on the heading. Did you see what happened just now?
Yeah, I see it. It's a heading change of 15 degrees without any problem
Yeah,
from
yeah.
outside. From what I see on the data, it looks just perfectly calm.
Ils sont où là? Ah là, ils sont là.
There he is, Andre. Hello. Bertrand started to say the aircraft is unstable and the autopilot cannot be connected and had a few times side slips of up to 15 degrees. And he said it's 15 degrees. And he said it's really hard to control.
Should we start looking for a helicopter just in case? First of all, I think we should be ready to jump, right? Yes.
We are looking for a bailout area in the area he's flying for the moment. Flight director informed pilot's wife.
Andre, you heard this?
What?
You take care of Michel in case.
If it's a pilot problem, pilot-induced oscillation, I think we should take time to do everything very calm.
No, now it's completely stable. It's really fun because now I can keep the heading without the autopilot.
Okay, Bertrand, then the next thing, I'd like you to extend the outriggers. And we slowly go down.
C'est un petit peu peur là. Ouais, avec ce qui s'est passé là en l'air. Il y a eu un moment de ce qui s'est passé en l'air où grosse inquiétude. Je sais pas pourquoi. Alors, dans le débris.
How was the flight?
It was fantastic flight. Fantastic flight.
Any challenges, difficulties?
Always challenges with an experimental airplane. You always discover, you always learn.
Yeah.
The bigger challenge lies ahead. You have to cross Pacific. Are you looking up to that challenge?
Yes, well, it's going to be really impressive. I tell you, to cross the Pacific, to cross the Atlantic.
It's not done yet.
You can imagine that?
It's not done yet.
This plane has the capacity to take the rays of the sun.
I got the chance to see this plane and it's a once in a lifetime moment.
I think it's enough.
But there's some rest in the needle, so at night.
We had a little delamination on one of the solar panels.
No, don't push too much.
No, it's perfect. This white spot can overheat one of these individual cells. If one cell gets damaged, like with the light balls in a Christmas tree, you break down all the others as well.
I just knew from the beginning that it must be a super light aircraft.
13 years ago, the thrill, wow, is it possible? Is it not possible? And it was an up and down, fighting, success, failures.
We had to design the whole plane very much on the edge of everything in terms of weight we were able to put in energy reserve. The whole size of the airplane is driven by the energy we need to cross the Pacific.
We never flew over the ocean. 5 nights in a row, that's the main challenge. The last measure we can take is to bail out, but of course you want to bail out when you really have to bail out. If you do this mission, you have to be on the positive side, or you will never do it. Bon, au boulot.
Bon, voilà, merci.
Ciao. Hein.
Tout à l'heure.
Tu me tiens bien cette...
Building the airplane, I think I'm realizing a dream I had when I was really a little boy. Thinking about these pilots who were discovering aviation, these pioneers. I met Bertrand at the right moment with a great idea. Radar from Hotel Bravo, Sierra India, Bravo, good morning. I always have been a little bit rebellious against authority. I left home when I was quite young. What I learned as a fighter pilot, which was useful, I think you are trained to better appreciate the risk and come up with the right decision.
On the ground, this aircraft has a lot of weak points. It is big, it is light, and therefore it is fragile. It's made of fabric, it's made of carbon, and you can break it with your finger.
Bertrand, I really would like to have more details on this phase before landing in Ahmedabad, what happened there, because, you know, we had really some stress situation on the ground.
I made a mistake in flying the plane in an unstable way, and I really scared everybody. So I was very embarrassed.
Not being prepared good enough, pilot condition must be better than what it was.
Now, of course, I don't have the same reactions than a jet plane pilot.
No,
So
which is not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
C'est de m'accrocher au Pacifique parce que ça me fait chier que le safety board pense que j'en suis pas capable et puis me dire il faut que je leur montre que j'en suis capable.
On a besoin de deux qualités pour faire ces vols-là. Une, c'est bon, le pilotage, c'est clair, quoi. Et la deuxième, c'est l'adaptabilité.
On verra à la fin du vol si l'expérience pilotage était la chose la plus importante ou si l'expérience d'avoir passé 35 jours et nuits en vol avec un ballon était fondamentale ou pas. Parce que c'est peut-être cette dimension-là qui va être la plus importante, peut-être pas du tout.
La difficulté de l'avion, c'est que faut savoir s'il te laisse dormir. Parce que le ballon, il te laisse dormir.
Oui.
L'avion, il ne te laisse pas nécessairement dormir. Donc je pense que ça, c'est la différence fondamentale, quoi.
I was extremely disappointed not to make the Pacific. That was my dream from the beginning. I think I underestimated the difficulty to fly it. On this airplane, it's not like on a normal airplane. You have to be really more precise. I initiated the project to fly in that airplane, but at the same time, it's true, I'm not the best pilot. I'm the explorer who became a pilot. I had to learn to fly that airplane, and it's not easy for me.
This decision was extremely difficult for everybody, huh? Especially when there are a lot of emotions and so much at stake. If
if I would do the Pacific, I knew that I had to prepare myself very well. When I will be in this cockpit, there will be moments which will be too intense. We will sleep, but for very short time, 20 minutes resting period. Yoga, meditation, breathing is a way to reboot a system which is start to be congested. When you fly jet fighters, you have whatever power you need to go against the winds, to fly in turbulence, in bad weather. Here it's just the other way around. This airplane is like a leaf pushed around by the wind. You have to make nature as a partner and not as an enemy. I think that's an attitude in life. In some ways I discovered when flying this airplane.
People say there is too much pollution, there is climate change, but it's not enough to complain about problems. We have to bring solutions. The same technologies that can make an airplane fly day and night with no fuel can be used to divide by 2 the emissions of CO2.
After seeing this, I think in my future job, maybe I will do something like this. We have to think about our children, our grandchildren. This thing is for them.
With Solar Impulse, we are only at the first phase. Our goal is not to transport passengers. Our goal is to transport a message.
With André, we've done 6 legs from Abu Dhabi to here. Now it's time to go to the next level. And it's the ocean. This is why Solar Impulse is built.
It's 5 days and 5 nights, solo flights over water. It's like going to the moon. Everything is under control, but you still have to go to the moon.
The challenge with the solar energy is to fly through the night. The energy of the airplane is the critical factor. During the day, we climb very high altitudes, so we collect energy directly from the sun. And we use this altitude at the beginning of the night to slowly fly down. This saves the batteries. Minimum battery charge, if everything goes on plan, is not more than 10%. In the morning at sunrise. It's about an hour, so there's not much margin in that.
Thing okay there? Okay, let's move forward.
We are removing each gram that we can in this airplane because each gram, of course, is consuming energy.
I did the most weight saving because I lost 4 kilos during the last 4 months there. So I did my contribution.
We were never able to prove that the airplane can fly through the night so far. And reducing weight is reducing risk.
The lighter you are, the further you get.
Who knows? I mean, maybe this is the minute which counts.
Yeah, exactly.
The Pacific is the largest ocean on the Earth. Is something that is always moving, developing, dying, depressions, typhoons. It's like a soup.
The most difficult part of this Pacific flight to Hawaii is the crossing of a classical cold front that acts like a wall. Cloudiness that gives precipitation, so all things that you have to avoid. And we have to find a hole in that frontal system Every day we are looking for a hole, we're even dreaming about a hole. Flying to Hawaii takes 5, maybe 6 days. When you cross that front, you have to be sure about details. And 5 days ahead, it's difficult to say.
Weather is posing a big problem for the Solar Impulse plane.
The Solar Impulse has been grounded in China due to bad weather brewing over the Pacific Ocean.
So I'm on the right. If it happens that you have bad weather, pilot tired, and technology problem, there it's the biggest risk we have. You dream of it almost all nights, because if there is a failure, there is a person in there. So from the old to end.
It's not only that we have the risk of losing the pilot, but it will also change the life of every engineer, which Andre maybe doesn't realize all the time.
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Yes?
How much? How much?
The closer we get now, more intense it is.
Chef, how much? How much?
The first time I will fall asleep will be over the ocean. We all know that falling asleep when you are stressed, not easy. Huh? But of course, if I end up in the water, it will be a shame, but I'm ready for a lot of things to happen. There will be moments of actions, there will be moments of reflection. I hope not moment of regrets. This inner voyage is really what I'm looking for. To go through these different experiences, this is the gift of all that.
You put breaking news, takeoff tonight. Starting to be exciting.
Finally.
I'm getting emotional a little bit. Sorry. I'm so happy.
Do we have a good corridor to get to the hole, or we do not have a good corridor to get to the hole?
The hole is still there. Yes, it is there. It's more or less confirmed.
T'arrives à monter au 8e, là, mettre le truc?
Takeoff, we have 0 cumulus switch on U. They were not seen before. What's the flight time?
Flight time is 6 days and a half.
6 plus.
Having a 7th day, it's not acceptable for me. If it's 5.5, okay, on the edge, but if it's 6 and something, it's
I mean, if I look at everything now, I'm the impression we are pushing a little bit too far there.
We are at 7 hours from departure.
It's tight there, it's tight, and uncertainty due to energy.
We have too many issues. That's the problem. We have too many issues now.
Game over. The guys fighting each other because they are nervous, they are under tension, they are tired.
If it's the window of the year, we just have to do it.
We're not going to do it for tomorrow. Sorry, but I think we'll not have a solution for tomorrow evening.
The time to prepare a distance of such a huge window, weather maps and so on, it's not done in 3 hours.
This time, they are tired. Don't forget that the distance from Nanjing to Hawaii is almost 2 times Europe. And then you're asking us, what's the clouds gonna be like in Poland and in Greece and in Ukraine? Around 3 hours.
With 2 people.
I mean, I like my job. Oh, I like my job. But it was hell. I would prefer that we take some rest and tomorrow morning we start to fight for the next one.
Fresh and rested.
It worries me very much.
If you look in the history of exploration, most of the big attempts have failed several times before the success.
Is this what we were dreaming of? We will have a nice corridor behind this system onto the ocean, 3, even 4 days flying in sunshine.
Now it's the moment of truth.
The first time that this airplane will fly with such a long time.
Okay, we move.
For the time being, looking good.
He's doing this really with a lot of his heart and all his being. I don't think anything else matters.
The Solar Impulse 2 plane is currently tackling the most ambitious leg of its round-the-world journey.
Once midway across the Pacific, there's no turning back. With no airports to land at and no boat capable of trailing the plane fast enough.
Even to get one man across an ocean will push him and his machine to the limits.
Once there's bad weather coming in with thunderstorms, and afterwards it's turning northwest.
It's a wall in front of us? Or? Then we have 1 or 2 layers where we have stratocumulus. We will reach the point of no return in approximately 10 hours. So we have to have a decision by that point.
The good side is that the plane flies well, André is in a good shape, and probably we can make it through the first night with enough energy. On the other hand, we're in a deep shit because we don't know how to cross the bad weather front in 5 days.
It's a big deception, actually. The problem is that cold front over the ocean, and at takeoff we were confident we had solutions to cross it, and then we didn't have a solution anymore.
Voilà, deuxième jour démarre avec une nuit qui était vraiment intéressante. De temps en temps, l'autopilote se déclenche, donc je dois réagir immédiatement. Donc il faut que j'arrive petit à petit à me détacher. Et je sens quand je vais m'endormir, et ça me fait un tout petit peu peur comme ça, donc il faut vraiment que je prenne confiance. Et donc j'espère qu'ils vont trouver une solution météo. Ce serait vraiment dur de devoir arrêter à ce stade-là.
Plus we win another day.
Yeah. So you can confirm that it's blocked now.
At that position.
At that position.
Well, for me, it's clearly red to continue. It's no way. The earlier we announce this diversion, the higher is the rate of success, I would say, to save the airplane and the pilot and the mission.
My personal opinion is that we have more risk of losing the airplane in Japan than if we try to reach Hawaii. I don't see how we can get a permission to inflate a mobile hangar in Japan.
The airplane is not made to cross the front and fly in cumulus clouds.
Until when can we still say we try to cross?
Now. Either we divert, or we take a big risk.
Nobody is confident to continue. So our position would be to make a diversion on Nagoya.
If no window, no go.
The green energy plane Solar Impulse 2 stopped moving towards its make-or-break next destination, Hawaii.
There's no telling how long they're going to spend in Japan waiting on the weather conditions.
Secured.
l'avion n'est pas protégé cette nuit, demain il commence à pleuvoir. On a déjà cassé une partie là. We need to be able to get the mobile hangar assembled tonight. If we did not succeed, the risk is that we lose the airplane completely, and the risk is extremely high. It's not 10% chance, it's 90.
Well, what we need now is our hangar, to prevent him from sun, wind, and rain. We're pretty much struggling to keep it on the ground.
We need to put full speed on it, maximum speed, maximum efforts.
The aircraft was not just a little bit wet, it was completely wet with water dripping from every single part of this aircraft.
Well, we want to avoid a short circuit because that would blow very probably the main fuse inside the battery. Oh shit, I didn't see that.
I hope it will be okay, but I don't know at this stage. Maybe in 3 months we'll still in Japan. And then it would be a disaster for our flight around the world.
C'est votre job de faire ça, vous êtes engagé pour ça, c'est sûr que c'est dur. Je comprends que vous étiez hyper stressé, mais je trouve juste qu'il faut aussi comprendre que on est obligé, moi je suis obligé de prendre un petit peu de hauteur.
Checking if there is a little bit of water left in the structure. Parts which have water inside explode if the water gets frozen when we fly very high. Andre would take all the risks. Yes. We, from the engineering, we want to reduce as much as we can to make his life safe. But he is a risky guy.
We always want to wait for better windows, but now we have passed the 21st of June, and it's going to be worse and worse in terms of energy. We are not on the safe side if we wait.
Ça va être super, hein, André. Ce vol va être magnifique.
There is no high pressure there. It's a complete shitty weather. There is absolutely no way to go through. To follow something for 3 days and 10 minutes before the takeoff, crazy. It was a bit. There's really a problem somewhere in our way of working. Oui, André, c'est Bertrand. Écoute, on a le dernier run de GFS et la voie est bouchée. Donc on attend un peu Luc qui doit essayer de nous trouver des sondages pour voir s'il peut confirmer ou pas.
Okay. We're checking if we should proceed or not.
I found.
Detached. That's the best way.
I think we really need it now because the spirits are sort of not very well. And if we now take the plane back, assemble the mobile hangar again and stay here for longer, it's going to be quite bad for the general mood of the team, I think. So that's why I believe we're going to take off. It's going to happen.
This afternoon I was confident. Now I feel more like gambling. And if he has to bail out here, okay, the water is maybe already warmer, but I don't want to gamble with a pilot in the ocean.
Ça n'a pas été transmis chez nous, donc c'est 5 heures locales, heure limite dans le décollage.
I'm not confident to taking the risk of your life
very difficult to go again.
The inner feeling.
There are two terrible situations. The worst is to be in the middle of the Pacific and see that it closes and to lose the plane and you jump. The other one is to be on the runway and to see that it closes. And this is exactly what we have, but it's not as bad as if you're in the middle of the Pacific.
I feel that you went over the tipping point in terms of feeling, and so it must be right.
But it's a terrible situation, and I imagine for you, I'm so sorry for you, but you cannot imagine.
Don't be sorry, huh? Yeah.
You cannot imagine how sorry I am for you. You are in that cockpit, you are ready to go. When I said we have to stop, Michael told me thank you.
So confirmed, flight is cancelled. We go back to the tent, unfortunately, but that's life, huh? A lot of hurdles. Big hurdles.
We tried everything we could, and we just failed the last centimeter. The last centimeter.
Always trying to make it work, and then you see that all that work is kind of for nothing.
I have to admit that the last weeks I was losing faith.
The monsoon is really picking up here in Japan, which means rain. It's also the risk of typhoon. So what we are facing if we cannot leave over the next few days to Hawaii, being hit by a typhoon, lose the mobile hangar, and of course lose the airplane.
We will always have an unknown thing. I think this is the nature of a forecast. It's a forecast, it's not the truth. Yeah?
Either we try to cross an ocean or not.
Where do you feel you have the biggest question marks or the biggest unreliability?
We will be flying just in front of incoming Cyrus. At night we can't fly.
You know, it was so embarrassing to have André ready to take off, all the press watching. We had to cancel at the last minute. And this time we want to avoid this. So we're not telling anybody. And once we're in the air, if it works, then we say, hey, oh, cuckoo, here we are. This time it's going well.
Okay, third attempt, ladies and gentlemen. Third time that we try to move. Mais les discussions comme à la dernière fois sur la piste, go, no go, etc., en faisant les checks, c'est pas admissible. Et on est go et on y va, et puis whatever happens, we go. I'm committed, completely committed to this flight. Point of no return is already passed long time ago.
Friday, we were both super depressed in Tokyo. Saying, yeah, this might be the end, and I'm not sure we're going to still make it, but if we make it to Hawaii, at least we've done the hard thing.
L'un des deux, c'est égal. Soit Peter, soit Daniel, et puis toi. We are just getting ready, and we try to take off at 3 a.m. sharp.
This time it seems better, so we try again.
Looking fine from hills.
short MAS fail.
Okay, copy. There was a short MAS fail.
If we do not find out why it happened or what triggered it, we should not continue for the Pacific.
The biggest concern is the problem is the MIS. That's the killer one. That's what I understood.
The MES is the system controlling the autopilot, which is giving false alarms and waking up Andre each time he wants to sleep.
So you want to continue to Hawaii?
Yeah.
Knowing that the monitoring is not working?
Yeah.
And you still...
It makes life a little bit more complicated. We'll need the monitoring from the ground.
The risk is really high. The risk is really, really high. We have 55 minutes before the point of no return. And we don't know what is causing this. And we have no idea. I mean, it could degrade.
Actually, we still don't know the cause of the problem.
No. If we go back to Nagoya, I'm sure we would find another window. The season is not over.
A bloody shitty situation. If we go back to Japan, I think it's the end of the project. Raymond?
Ouais.
T'as parlé à André?
J'ai parlé à André, ouais.
Okay. André pour Bertrand. Donc moi je pense que c'est la fin du projet si on rentre à Nagoya.
Je dirais que le scénario Go, il est un peu plus compliqué dans le sens que je pense qu'il y a des gens qui vont démissionner, Peter il va démissionner. Donc ça va créer une crise qui est assez grande.
Écoute, on est dans le moment le plus critique du projet jusqu'à maintenant.
Pour que tout le monde soit derrière là-dessus, dire bon, nous on a donné notre avis, mais on continue, on vous supporte complètement, etc. On a quand même à disposition.
2-6 minutes. Ok, alors Raymond organise en ce moment la discussion avec les ingénieurs, donc je te reprends de l'autre côté en groupe.
Now we just need to know if André wants to continue or not.
What do you think it will take for him to decide?
Gut. Not only as a pilot, but for the project.
We have an aircraft which is not nominal.
Yeah.
Things will break during this journey. And if we start the journey already with one redundancy down, that's not a good starting basis. I would recommend to go back.
Going back to Nagoya in the season of typhoons with the possibility of destroying the airplane on the ground. In terms of overall project, it's more risky to come back than to continue.
Personally, I have a very good feeling I can do it. We have an airplane which has a very good source of energy, very good storage.
If you decide to continue as a friend, as you have all my support, but as an engineer, I would say we have to go back as we have the choice.
A lot of people can be a little bit afraid, scared by the unknown in which we're jumping. I was very often in my life in these type of situations, and I tell you it's worth it. But the decision we take goes far beyond the flight itself. We have now the possibility to do what nobody has done. When Chuck Yeager broke the speed of sound, he had a broken rib. All these things were absolutely incredible feats.
I think it's very dangerous with this heroic speech, to encourage people to take a wrong decision, because we never have the story of those who got killed. These are hard projects, these are difficult situations. I guess I do it because I know this airplane quite well and what can be done, what cannot be done. Nobody in the future will understand that two managers can go against a whole team. And you really force us to support something that nobody wants to do.
I just want to make one point very clear. There's only so much we can do to support you from here, from the ground. So when you decide to go on, you will be on your own up there.
First, this is Capcom speaking. We have to start the climb now if we want to have a chance to respect the profile.
Go.
Climb.
Assez dur de décider. De prendre, ça m'a pris au fond de moi, vraiment dans l'estomac. Et puis, pas vraiment savoir si c'était la bonne décision. Bon, techniquement, je pense que c'est bon. Mais vis-à-vis de la famille, vis-à-vis de Yasmine, c'est vrai que, waouh, pas facile, hein.
From an engineering point of view, it was the wrong decision. That you still can make it is like, I don't know, driving with a flat tire.
You have to be lucky from a certain point of view. But it's their decision.
We saved the project by deciding not to return to Japan. On the other hand, you have some of the engineers who are so pissed off because we did not follow their recommendation. They want to leave the project, and I don't know what will happen after Hawaii. There are moments where you have to take some risks if you want to achieve something that has never been done. Otherwise, we stay in the armchair and we wait until we're old and we die and we do nothing.
So I lost one source of information.
Well, let's see how we are currently rebooting. A lot of wake-up calls in this airplane.
This MIS system, which monitors the aircraft while the pilot is resting, is behaving erratic. We had it working in the beginning, then it produced a failure, so we shut it down. We tried again. We don't really know what the status of the system is.
The first night was about digesting, the emotion of the first day. It was really intense. Then I look out, I see the moon, I see the clouds, and here I am over the Pacific. I think I feel a little bit higher.
From here to here, it's heating up. So we need to burn more energy.
It's a risky game to...
I know.
Due to the flight profile we did on the first day, the batteries got too warm. If it sums up over the days, it can become really too hot. They can start to burn.
1-8. It's turbulence since, I think, about 1 hour. We are climbing again at 9-0 and we'll see if it's better, but it costs energy.
That's exactly what I was afraid of.
Still some time until the next sunrise.
Turbulences during the night, which means a lot of work, of course, no autopilot, of course, no sleep. That we started to work hard to see how we could get out. So climbed again, and when you climb, you use the energy that you need for the night, so it's a little bit stressful.
And we're monitoring every day how many resting periods is he getting. The first 2 nights he had 3 hours of sleep. That's okay. But we don't know what's going to happen on day 4 if you keep that rhythm, and day 5. So we climb every day, the equivalent of sea level straight up to Mount Everest. No acclimatization. If you don't have enough oxygen, there's a risk of hypoxia. Within 60 seconds will lead to a severe degradation in your ability to understand what's going on around you. You become euphoric, so not only are you in a dangerous situation, you're not able to recognize the situation, and you feel good about not recognizing the situation. Then very quickly you will pass out. Watching to see how his body is absorbing the oxygen, is he actually getting enough? And you're constantly listening to this. You hold your breath and hope he breathes, and then you keep going.
Pilot status, mood, he's exhausted, not as good as it was.
We have a pilot that is starting to show signs of fatigue. We have batteries that will not take a lot more abuse. We see that all the systems are stressed. Yeah? The flight is not over.
Quite intense. You have to perform because it's real time. You know, as an engineer, you are used to, okay, I solved the equation today, and if I don't solve it today, then I'm going to solve it tomorrow. And this is totally different. I'm kind of happy that it's soon over.
So now preparation for landing. I was thinking about all this, then I cried loud. It was a little bit ridiculous, you know, alone in the cockpit crying. Everything was going well, but it was so intense.
And Andre, you have some kind of headache?
No, not headache, but something has been growing on my head. It's really strange.
Okay, but I cannot see it. Do you have the face view? And now, oh, okay. It's terrific, yeah.
I don't know what else to say. So much time in this damn
André, comment ça va?
Écoute, ça va bien.
He can feel every, I think, element in the plane. He knows which wings is vibrating. I think he was a bird in another life.
A plane powered only by sunlight makes history today in a 5-day journey across the Pacific.
This will be the furthest a solar plane has ever flown, as well as the longest-lasting solo flight in aviation history.
I've never been to something this historical before. Too young to see other things, just right age to see this.
It's absolutely beautiful, and the latest wind from the ground crew is 0403 knots in the axis.
Okay.
Bertrand.
Mais je pense que dans les 16 ans, c'était quand même les 2 derniers mois qui ont été les plus durs.
To confirm, you have the landing and promotion lights on.
Aircraft secure.
André! C'est fabuleux. T'as vraiment construit une merveille là.
To fly with the sun, you need to be extremely energy efficient. And this efficiency can be used everywhere.
This is why it's a historic first for aviation and a historic first for renewable energies.
Will you make it around the world? Are you confident of that?
It's an attempt. We cannot be overconfident.
I received so much support from people I didn't know, and a beautiful message. So when you read this, you know that people are supporting you, and I was carried by all this, I'm sure.
All of us were very lucky to have the pilot back. But then this decision came up that Andre and Bertrand want to continue. It hurt us in the soul that somebody decided against us.
I was fully in opposition to Andre and Bertrand. Andre is pushing. We always had these discussions and fights. Why do you tend to go beyond limits all the time? We engineers try to set reasonable limits that you survive. And your target is always to sort of prove us that we set the limits too narrow.
If everybody is telling you that you are a hero, I think it's good also for them that there are people who try to pull them back and on the ground from time to time. Hast du jetzt 50 Knoten? The concern about the batteries is that they are damaged. At the moment we are on a worst case scenario where we have to exchange some cells in the batteries, this is a nightmare.
We have overheated the batteries. More cells are damaged than the spare parts we have. So the logical consequence is that we will stay here until next April, where we can continue.
The flight from Japan to Hawaii left scars on many of the engineers. I think for everybody to complete this flight around the world is extremely important. It's part of their life. I mean, they all stayed.
Last year, I was too much emotionally involved.
Ça, c'est bon.
I was thinking it's now or never. I was completely the head under the water, which is really not good for flying an airplane over oceans, you know. Alors c'est masque loin, c'est up. I've flown 20 days in a balloon, but we were two. Flying alone, it's something different. So I really had to train to prove to the MCC and the jet pilots that I can do it. 1, 2, 3, the fourth one. I will never be as precise as a jet fighter pilot. This you cannot get at my age. But at least to do it correctly. Climb, 174.
We see a weather window for Muffet right now. It looks good. It's a short flight. Okay. We'll only confirm really tomorrow and even on the day of takeoff.
It comes from the house of Charles Lindbergh in Maui. Beautiful gift. This is more for the Americans than for the Europeans. It's Star Trek, Captain Picard, who is inspired from the twin brother of my grandfather. It was a challenge to be an explorer that would be different than my father and my grandfather, not to just redo the same.
The wind is at the limit, so for the time being, we don't go out.
And I was doubting sometimes, is it my way? Because I'm also interested by
psychology, spirituality.
Okay, good morning, Bertrand. This is Christophe. How are you?
I'm fine. I had 4 hours of good sleep. I woke up before the alarm clock. I'm in a perfect shape.
Very good.
My father and my grandfather gave me the drive to be an explorer. But my mother showed me the need to give it a meaning. We were extremely close, like 2 human beings in quest of understanding why we were on this earth.
Wonderful. Have a great flight, Bertrand, and enjoy it. And don't forget to come down.
People are always thinking, I am the wife, I should have this fear. When Bertrand did his round-the-world balloon flight, our children were very small. At this age, children, they don't have any fear. They are just living the present moment, and I just realized I should not give them this fear.
For this flight, Bertrand trained a lot. The flight is long for him. This was one of his main questions. If I don't sleep, how can I survive?
First sunrise over a sea of clouds. That's the sunrise I will remember all my life. Energy management. Being as energy efficient as possible during the night to reach the next sunrise and continue. That's a beautiful metaphor of how we have to behave with energy and nature if we want to survive on this planet. Switching on the solar generators. I can show you my little house. That's the kitchen, where I prepare my food. The toilet inside the seat. That's the cellar. Breakfast. The family, Estelle, Oriane and Solange, Michel.
Allô, papa?
Allô? C'est qui? C'est Oriane?
Il y a Oriane, Solange et moi, on est au Mission Control Center à Monaco pour dire bonjour.
C'est fabuleux. Ce jumeau sublime et j'attendais ça depuis tellement longtemps pour faire un vol comme ça.
Hello, Solar Pulse. Hello, Captain Picard.
Good afternoon, Mr. Secretary General. I speak to you from the cockpit of Solar Impulse in the middle of the Pacific, flying on solar power. All this airplane is like a smart grid, collecting energy, distributing energy with very, very high efficiency. And this is exactly what the world needs.
Wonderful. You look like an asteroid in the moon.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary General, and congratulations for what you are doing. The world will remember it.
While you are making history, we have also made the history today. More than 175 countries signed the climate change agreement. Thank you for your leadership and inspiration. All the best to you. Bon voyage.
I think I had more butterflies in the stomach before that live transmission than when I took off with Solar Impulse 3 days ago. The sun's going to arrive in a few minutes to carry me to San Francisco. It's beautiful. Moment extraordinaire. Last years of attempts, of setbacks, of problems. It was worth going through all these moments just to be here now.
Il est où, Stéphane? T'es rasé?
The thing that amazes me is the size, and especially given the low weight. This is the moment where you start to see electric power taking off.
Incroyable.
There's nobody that drives a Tesla that dreams of the days of pollution and gas stations. When people look back then and they say, you know, what was the moment when it went from impossible to inevitable? They'll point to the solar impulse.
Sometimes, you know, there are people who will say, why do you fly with a solar airplane like Solar Impulse? It's expensive, it's big, it's slow, only good weather, and only one person in it. Silicon Valley, nobody asks. Everybody knows, understands. When Solar Impulse landed yesterday in Phoenix, it was just in front of a cemetery of old airliners.
It's very sad. A lot of these airplanes will never fly again. You know, they get dismantled. And this one lost, you know, the left eye. Crazy. Of course, it's normal. All this will be replaced by better technologies. But still, in fact, I feel emotions when I'm here. An airplane is not just a piece of metal. It represents much more.
When people think fuel is forever, they forget the gold rush 100 years ago and the ghost towns. I'm not saying Solar Impulse will replace an airplane like that very soon. In 10 years' time, we have airplanes flying electric with batteries plugged in the grid before takeoff, and they will transport 50 people. Today, you make electricity with solar panels in Dubai cheaper than with gas. Ladies and gentlemen, you are now doing your last flight on a combustion engine airplane. In the future, you will be flying electric.
The local news came on and said this was landing, so I went outside and watched the skies to try to see something weird.
I don't buy into the global warming deal.
just to be honest. We've had oil and gas for all these years. If they can make stuff battery powered, then I'm all for that. You know, obviously make it go faster. Because I think he could drive faster from Phoenix to Tulsa than he flew. But it's a start.
Just as the Wright brothers did before them, this team hoping to show anything is possible with the right resolve.
There we had a failure in the electric system of the mobile hangar. It deflated, touched the airplane. It can destroy the airplane, huh?
The mobile hangar was laying on the tail of the aircraft, slowly going down onto the wing.
I just would like to hear if there is a visual defect.
We have no idea what, especially here, I'm not so afraid, but from the wing.
Until we see there's a problem, it's stupid to cancel the flight of tomorrow.
Don't even think about it. I hope we can fly again. I think that's where we are. What we try to avoid is that we get into a panic stage. Bertrand is pushing, of course.
C'est la connerie totale de qu'il est ce vol.
Ça fait rien. Ça fait rien. Il faut surtout pas. Don't push. Please, don't push. It's not the moment. We try. We go step by step.
So for me, it's a non-event.
It's not a non-event. Yeah. Careful what you say. We are in deep shit. In really deep shit. Maybe there is nothing on the airplane, but we don't know. This is an airplane which is certified to fly over the major cities, and you don't play with safety. That's the responsibility of the engineers. I don't think we'll come with an answer which is black and white.
This project is too big to be run just by personal wishes. But this is very new for me.
We had a couple of explosions, very often because of our character, maybe because of our egos. And it was a hard process. I think we understand that we bring to each other much more than the difficulty that the relationship creates.
I don't think we're ever going to laugh at the difficult moments we went through. With Audrey, we are together since 13 years in this project. We're very proud that we didn't split apart, that we didn't have any divorce, that we could learn so much from each other. In 1969, my father arrived with his submarine after the drift mission of 1 month in the Gulf Stream. He arrived in front of the Statue of Liberty. I was 11 years old, so happy and proud. You know, altogether, he had 50 projects of submarines, and only 5 got some fundings. I saw my father worn out by all these disappointments. He told me, don't feel obliged to continue my work. Let's go for the Atlantic, my friends. Mr. Secretary General, so wonderful to welcome you here.
Mr. Picard and his team, they are sometimes risking their lives, and this is a very audacious courage. We need this kind of spirit to change this world.
The Atlantic is going to be probably the greatest flight of my life. I don't want to put the pressure and say, oh, I met Charles Lindbergh when I was a child. and imagine how important it is and how symbolic it is. I want it to be natural. I want it to happen in a peaceful way. When you're in the middle of the unknown, you have these moments of grace. You are at that moment like you would like to be forever.
So now you are challenging your fighter pilot.
I love my fighter pilot.
An airplane powered solely by the sun has made aviation history after an almost 3-day flight across the Atlantic from New York.
From Seville, the aircraft will continue its journey back to Abu Dhabi, where it all began for this extraordinary project.
When I flew yesterday over the pyramid, they were just emerging out of the haze. And I guess it was exactly the same as they were 4,500 years ago. They believed in eternal life, and for me it's a symbol of eternity. So Impulse is also intended to be a symbol about sustainability, a symbol about the potential of renewable energy. If you build something like this, which is done to be forever, it's not necessarily the solution we should go for. Sustainability means that you stay in line with nature, and I'm not sure, in fact, the way we build takes this into account. You don't change the situation. The world will dictate you the future and not the other way around.
There are so many mixed thoughts and feelings right now that it's difficult. After this flight, it's over. So it's like a family that's going to split. But there's the message and what we have to do out of this flight. And I'm working since years for that and for that moment. And I want to be sure not to waste it. Good evening, MCC.
Yes, we are quite tight on energy. Timing is critical. Every day there are cumulus clouds that are really, really high.
Is the pilot healthy? This time the pilot is a little bit green, I have to say.
You mean it's stomach problems or?
Yeah, yes. I'm a little bit weak, but the general situation is good.
Okay, then drink a lot of water, but
Yes.
you're the doctor, not me.
Keep in mind that the flight is not easy.
Yeah.
No, it's a difficult flight, I know, huh? Absolutely. Everything is different from what we have planned. It's adventure. It's not a business plan.
Nico Lujon, Claude, Steph, Jérôme, Paige, Owen.
It's not the moment I'm the healthiest in my life, but it's still under control. Still under control.
On fait, nobody
Comment tu te sens? Écoute, je me suis senti mal pendant un instant. Tu sais, t'as quand même 2 jours qui sont vachement lourds devant. Hein. Moi, je pense que c'est peut-être bien de ne pas continuer.
Takeoff conditions on Sunday are not good. En route, we have extreme thermals overhead. It's the hottest time of the year.
I believe that each of the problems can be solved.
There is a danger that you overheat equipment and at the end you have a failed aircraft.
We know we are at the limit. I would go into combat mode, gentlemen, because it's not going to improve.
I hope it's the last taxi. Because if it is, then it's a fantastic moment right now. I've never been in a project that gave as many moments of elation and moments of disappointment. It's really strange, huh?
As we told you, the night might be quite tough for you.
I would like to drink, I would like to pee, I would like to open and evaluate my clothing because I'm too hot. But I just didn't do anything and it's
It was not such a bad idea that you had 17 years ago, huh?
You know what? It became a good idea. Thanks to all the people who supported it.
We can't save the planet with the one plane flying around the world. And maybe it inspires many people to start solving problems instead. And maybe it was worth all this stress.
We are late. We really have to move, gentlemen.
How you will enter? I don't have a. You don't have a permission to enter. I don't have.
I will go. I'm the pilot. I tell you, I will go. You can shoot me. I will go, and I will take my team.
When André took off, the 9th of March last year, I was thinking, we are completely crazy. And a year and a half later, you see the result of what our team has achieved because they accepted to dream. And when you see the state of the world today, it is a crime not to try something, not to try to increase quality of life on this planet. We love to fly. For others, it's in art, in science, in the community. But we have to try.
What I remember is to be on this runway 15 months ago, exactly at this position, ready for the flight around the world, not knowing what will happen, not knowing how much time it would take. Just go and start. and seeing the airplane coming. It's like slowing down the time. It's really, really strong.
On va pas encore ouvrir la porte tout de suite, hein?